Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Patricia and I am creating these videos to share my experiences in being a legal guardian for the past 2 years of an elderly relative with dementia. These videos contain no legal or medical advice, they are just my experiences. So welcome. Today I just want to discuss the 10 weeks in between me filing for guardianship and the hearing, and also the hearing. The background might look a little different. I'm actually on a vacation, and if you are a caregiver, I hope that you know that you need to take care of yourself in order to be able to take care of the person you take care of. Thought I'd make a quick video to discuss what happened in those 10 weeks. So basically, I started running his whole life, my ward's life, and it's basic project management. You know, what is the problem? What needs to get done? How do we fix it? And then finding the right people to do it. Luckily, he has wonderful neighbors who just couldn't have been more helpful. Actually, all of the people I hired to help him are all neighborhood vendors. You know, the landscaper, the housekeeper. The only people that weren't neighborhood people were this company called Arosa, who is a company that will provide caregivers and management. So they're like my boots on the ground in his everyday life, because I can't be there every day. We live in different states. So they're fabulous. I would recommend them highly. They've really got a great group of people to provide care on a daily basis. So I got all of that part done. The part that I didn't realize was going to be a problem, which ended up costing me money, is his bank did not allow for using Venmo or Zelle, which most of these vendors that you hire, housekeepers, landscapers, like to get paid through those type of apps. So unfortunately, for the first 10 weeks, all of those expenses came out of my pocket. One thing you will learn is reimbursements move very slowly through the court system. So I would not recommend paying out of pocket if you can't afford it. But I was able to, and I could afford it, so I did. I'm still waiting for reimbursement, but oh well, I know it will get to me eventually. So those 10 weeks, very busy. I was there every weekend. I would fly up Friday, fly home Sunday. So Saturday was spent, you know, checking on him, seeing what the differences were week to week, figuring out if anything else needed to be fixed in the house, or, you know, whatever. So every weekend was busy. I also, during these 10 weeks, took him, or made an appointment for him to go see his doctor, which was the best thing I could have done. During his exam, they tested him for dementia, and yes, he was diagnosed with it, which really helped me understand what had been happening over the past few months and how things occurred. So it was great. I got that done. I felt good. During one of these events, or these weekends, his guardian ad litem arrived and promptly kicked me out of the house. Mainly because she is a lawyer, and my relative is her client. So she needed to speak to her client confidentially. So I went out, I ran errands. I was gone about 2 hours. And when I came back, she wanted to talk to me, and we had a nice chat. I think she just wanted to find out who I was and what I was all about. So that was nice. I told her what I had been doing, who we had hired, everything that was happening. So back to my relative. So I met her. That worked out great. Um, and then the day of the hearing happened, and it was quite normal. You know, it was just another Zoom call, except on the court system. Nothing unusual. If you've done a Zoom call or a video call, this is going to be the same thing. So at the hearing was me, my attorney, the guardian ad litem, the judge, and the POA. Um, the POA did have a little trouble logging in, but my attorney helped her get in, so that made everything go smooth. Um, it was pretty simple. My my attorney was trying to show that I would be a better guardian than the POA. And so she went over the whole $275,000 withdrawal and what it was for. And we found out that it was actually a house or a townhouse that they were buying that they wanted that money for. And there was no structured deal with my relative that would have protected him from losing this investment money. And so it was just a gentleman's agreement. There was no paperwork, nothing. So once that money was transferred, basically it would have been gone. So after we got through that, the guardian ad litem gave her a report, and I think I said, I don't know, a total of 5 words, and that was it. The judge decided that I would be the better person to be the guardian, and they gave me the temporary guardianship. Interesting enough, they do not do permanent guardianship right away. You have to basically earn it. So I was appointed the temporary guardian, which allowed me to really then take over all the financials in his life. And then in July, we had another hearing where I showed what I had been doing, and I was then appointed the permanent guardian. After I was appointed the guardian, I promptly fired the POA and ensured that she had no further access to his funds. And then we went to the bank, him and I went to his bank and changed his accounts to a guardianship account, which basically means that I have check writing ability on it. Also that I have fiduciary responsibility to it, but I write checks in order to cover his bills from his accounts. That's all I'm doing. I am the responsible party to ensure that life will go on for him. It worked out well. I do wish I had known that that it would take a long time to get checks and things, so I would actually have to call the bank and have money orders done if I needed a check written. They didn't give me a temporary check, anything like that. I would have to call them. And then my ward and his best friend would go to the bank, pick up the check, the money order, and then they could, they would send the check out to the vendor. It was a crazy situation. That lasted until June, no, till July, until I was appointed permanent guardianship. So it was a bit of a tussle there, but we got through it. Um, I would ensure that in the future, I would make sure that I had checks right away. That was a bit of a pain in the butt to do, but it worked out. So that was our 10 weeks in between me filing and being declared the temporary legal guardian. I would suggest that you check with the banks because I didn't do this. I would, if I had to do this over again, I would check with his bank to see how payments could be made and figure that out before deciding whether or not to stay with his bank. You know, there are many banks with guardianship programs that I could have looked into. I thought it was easier to stay with his. At the beginning, it wasn't, but you know what? They've now changed their rules, and I can use Zelle, which is great. So I'm thrilled. That has saved me a lot of time, energy, and my own personal money in waiting for reimbursements. But that's video number 4. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.